Hello friends, good morning. So you have watched the videos put on our Genomia. So that covers the theory of Unit 1. So today we are going to revise those things and solve the problem. So unit number 1, it is on single DOF system, which consists of free vibrations. There are two parts of free vibrations: undamped vibration and damped vibration. So today first we will see the undamped free vibration, and problem also we are going to solve on undamped free vibration. What is the learning outcome of today's lecture? First learning outcome, to get understood fundamentals of vibrations. Second learning outcome, to be able to estimate natural frequency of vibratory system. So by this time you have understood from the earlier videos, that what is vibration. So vibrations are fluctuations of a mechanical system about an equilibrium position. It is nothing but the oscillatory motion. Mechanical system subjected to restoring force or restoring moment, which pulls the system towards the equilibrium positions. So here two words are very important: restoring force or restoring moment. Okay, when your system is displaced from its equilibrium position, there should be some force or some moment which will bring back the system to its original position. That force or that moment is called as a restoring force or restoring moment. So spring or elasticity of the body, that provides the restoring force or moment to the body, and sometimes gravity also provides the restoring moment. For example, in simple pendulum, for a mechanical vibration to occur, two energy storage elements are very important. First is kinetic energy, second is potential energy. So the mass, which every mechanical object possesses a mass. So mass is a storage element which stores the kinetic energy. So you know what is the formula for kinetic energy: 1/2 mv square. So here we call v as a x dot square. So kinetic energy is equal to 1/2 mx dot square. The second energy storage element is elastic member. So with the virtue of its elasticity, like a spring, it stores the potential energy. So what is the formula for potential energy? 1/2 k x square. We will see later on how it has come. Now, what are the main causes of vibration? The main cause is unbalanced force. See, any rotary element or reciprocating element, it is subjected to vibrations because of the unbalanced forces. So it is very much necessary that before we use these objects or elements, they should be perfectly balanced. Otherwise, vibrations will be there. Second reason is that dry friction between the mating surfaces. So dry friction always cause the vibration. So we have to always reduce the dry friction. The example is, if we see sometimes our door causes creaky noise. So that creaky noise is due to dry friction between that hinges. Then third is external excitation. So external excitation may be of random excitation or due to periodic excitation. So whenever external excitation is there, that means external force is acting on the system will vibrate. The example is that if we consider the lathe cutting operation, there the cutting force is the external force acting on that object, and that external force causes the chattering of that cutting process. So that is nothing but the type of vibration only. Then fourth main cause is wind. Sometimes vibrations of transmission or telephone lines causes due to wind. Then elastic nature of the member, like spring or elasticity, the members which are having more elasticity, they will vibrate due to more elastic in nature. The sixth is earthquake. Earthquake is very random in nature. Nobody can predict when it will be taking place. Now next is the effect of vibration. So the effect is first is that it will produce the excessive or additional stresses. See, when we design the part, we always consider the stresses produced by the torques, loads, or moment. Okay, so in addition to those stresses, these vibrations will produce excessive stresses like in gears or shafts or bearings. Okay, then it will produce undesirable noise. So undesirable noise is a part of vibration only. It produces only because of the vibrations in case of mechanical parts. Third is looseness of the parts. So vibration creates loosening of the parts. So whenever we give our say automobile or a vehicle or two-wheeler or four-wheeler to the for servicing to the garage, they always tighten the parts, because during that period whenever we drive the vehicle, the nut bolts and other parts, they get loosened due to vibrations. Fourth effect is fatigue failure of member. See, vibration causes cyclic stresses on the member, so it is very much important that we should avoid this vibration to avoid the fatigue failure of the member. Now there are useful effects also of the vibrations. These were the bad effect of vibration where we have seen. These were we have to always reduce the vibrations in these cases. But in useful effect, the instruments are working because of the vibrations only. For example, first useful effect is musical instruments. You take the example of drum, guitar, sitar. All these instruments will play because of the vibrating of the string. So string vibration will produce a sound. Then second useful effect is human sensing element. See, this is not mechanical vibrations, but anyhow our all five senses are related with the vibrations. Because of vibrations only our five sensing organs work. For example, our lungs vibrate. Because of vibrations of lungs only we breathe in and breathe out, and due to that one only we are alive. uh, how do we speak? Our tongue vibrates. Now I'm speaking, my tongue is vibrating, so due to this tongue vibration only we are able to speak. Then our eardrum vibrates. Because of that one also we are able to hear. Even when we walk, we cannot walk taking our hands just besides our say body. We our hands are moving to and fro when we walk, so that is also a vibratory motion. Then third useful effect is in mechanical industries we see there are vibratory screens, shakers, stress relievers, sieves, hoppers, vibratory conveyors. Especially in sugar factory we will see on all these things. So because these are used for useful purpose, vibrations are useful for useful purpose of working of these equipments. Now, what is the remedy for these vibrations? Okay, we have to reduce the vibrations. So first is remove the cause of vibration. Okay, that means the major cause we have discussed, that is a unbalanced forces. So if unbalance is there, first you have to remove that unbalance so that vibrations will be reduced. Second is putting in screen for noise reduction. So whenever you cannot reduce the vibrations or noise especially, then you can avoid the noise with the by putting the screen in between. Okay. Third is resting the machineries on proper foundation or isolators. All heavy machineries, medium machineries, or even low machineries also should be kept on foundations or isolators that will absorb the vibrations created by the machinery, or that will not be transmitted to the other machineries because of the foundations. Then fourth is shock absorber or suspensions. Two-wheeler or four-wheeler are the best example where we can reduce the vibrations of our vehicle with the help of a shock absorber. Then fifth is a dynamic vibration absorber. So there are few equipments which will absorb the vibrations of the say object where we don't want the vibrations, there we absorb. So that vibration absorber we are going to study in detail in unit number 5. Now, what are the examples of vibrations where the bad effects are there, and there our we always want to reduce the vibrations there. So locomotives, diesel engine, industrial compressors, pumps, turbine blades, centrifugal machines, motors, metal cutting processes, all these are the vibration produce say mechanical parts, where we have to take care that vibration should not exceed beyond limit. Now, what are the prerequisites for this subject? So basically, out of 6, there are 5 units which are based on the vibrations, and 1 unit is based on the balancing. So for all these, one mathematics is required, wherein differential equations especially and their solution, it is required for all types of vibrations. Then from engineering mechanics, we require Newton's second law of motion to determine the equation of motion. Okay. From strength of material, we require the deflection. And from theory of machine, we require mass, moment of inertia. So all these you have to revise before you start actual studying for the vibrations. Now, what are the different books? So first book is Mechanical Vibration by Grover. This is a very good book, Grover. Okay, you must purchase this book because all the syllabus except balancing is covered in this one, and it is a very good book. Very it is not so costly. So the cost is approximately 250 to 300. The second book is Mechanical Vibration by VP Singh. So many problems are solved in this VP Singh. So it is a best combination if you purchase Grover and purchase VP Singh, or those are online copies are also available. So you can see on soft copies of these books also. And third is Mechanical Vibration by S.S. Rao. This is the Bible of the vibration. It is a very nice book, but very costly. So I will not recommend you to purchase, but you should refer this book. Fourth is Theory of Vibration with Applications by Thompson. Usually PG students refer this book. And fifth one is Theory of Machine by S.S. Ratan. So the one chapter, that is balancing, is given in this Ratan, and also some types of vibrations are mentioned in the Theory of Machine. Now, we will see the terminology of vibration because without that one you can't go further. We must understand the fundamental terminology of vibrations. So first is periodic motion, that is oscillatory motion. A motion which repeats itself after equal interval of time, that is nothing but the periodic motion. Vibration is basically oscillatory motion only or periodic motion only. Second is the time period. So time taken to complete one cycle, that is known as a time period. Its unit is second. Frequency, number of cycles completed in 1 second or 1 minute or 1 unit, that is known as a frequency. So there are 2 types of frequency: linear frequency, which is denoted by F, and its unit is hertz. Second is angular frequency. It is denoted by omega, and its unit is radian per second. So relation between these two is omega is equal to 2 pi f. Now next is simple harmonic motion. The motion of a body to and fro about a fixed point is called SHM. So what is the equation of SHM? X is equal to capital A sin omega t. What is X? X is nothing but the displacement at any time t. So it is a general equation of SHM. X is equal to capital A sin omega t. A is the amplitude of this SHM. Okay. So actually this is the solution of motion. So what is the equation of simple harmonic motion? This is x double dot plus omega square x is equal to 0. How this has come, or how this solution we got from this equation? See, x is equal to A sin omega t. This is displacement. If you derive this one, you will get velocity. So x dot, here instead of dx by dt, we use x dot. So x dot is equal to A, the derivation of sin omega t is cos omega t into omega. So x dot is equal to A omega cos omega t. Then further differentiation will give you acceleration. So x double dot is d2x by dt square. Okay. So x double dot is equal to minus A omega square sin omega t. differentiation of cos omega t sin omega t into omega, so it will become minus a omega square sin omega t. Now this a sin omega t is nothing but x. So how will you write down this equation? X double dot is equal to minus omega square into x. Take this term on LHS. So x double dot plus omega square x is equal to 0. This is very, very important equation. This is the differential equation of simple harmonic motion. For every type of vibration, we have to use this equation. We have to make the analogy of this equation. Okay, so the coefficient of x is nothing but omega square. So every time you have to find out omega for any mechanical vibratory system. So like this, you have to find out the differential equation for every type of vibration, which will give you natural frequency, that is omega square. Okay. So here x dot x double dot represent displacement, velocity and acceleration of a body which is vibrating. Next definition is amplitude, the maximum displacement of a vibratory body from the mean position. Okay. Then free vibration, vibrations of a system because of its own property. That means what? No external force is acting on the vibratory body. The body on it itself, it vibrates. Okay, only you have to disturb the system to create the vibrations. Once you disturb that, that means initially only you apply the force and leave it. That object will vibrate, start vibrating. Okay, that is known as a free vibration. Then other is forced vibrations, the vibrations in which external force is acting, and because of that external force only the vibrations are creating. So this is known as a forced vibration. So the vibrations under an external excitation force or periodic force is known as a forced vibration. See, the force is also, it is not a steady force, or it is not a you can say steady or live force. It is dynamic force. Dynamic means what? Force is also vibrating, you can say. It is to and fro in nature, so it is a periodic in nature, so it has certain frequency, and that frequency is called as a external excitation frequency. Okay, so the system which are having the forced vibration will always vibrate with the external excitation frequency, that is omega. And the systems which are vibrating freely, that is free vibrations, that vibrates with the natural frequency omega n. So here free vibrations omega n is related, and with forced vibration omega is related. So omega n is natural frequency and omega is the external excitation frequency, which comes into picture only in forced vibration. Now, natural frequency. Okay, so frequency of a free vibration of a system, it is constant for a particular vibratory system. So just now I told you that for this free vibration, the frequency is, associated frequency is natural frequency. Okay. Now resonance. So when frequency of external excitation is equal to the natural frequency of the vibrating body, it is known as a resonance condition. And at this condition, amplitude of vibration becomes excessively large. So resonance can happen only in case of force vibration. Okay, because force vibration, the body will vibrate with omega, and if this omega is equal to omega n, it will create the resonance, which we always try to avoid. And that is the main purpose of studying of this vibration, that resonance we have to avoid. So to avoid the resonance, we must know omega, we must know omega n. So omega, it is in our hand. We are giving this, we are designing and manufacturing the our mechanical parts. So omega is known to us. So how will you find out omega n then? So for that purpose, we have to study these vibrations to determine the natural frequency of any mechanical component. Now next is damping. Okay, what is damping? It is nothing but the resistance offered to the vibrating body. Okay, so if the damping is present in the system, or we externally providing the damping, that is known as a damped vibration. Okay, and if no damping is present, that is known as a undamped vibration. So this is the damping. It is nothing but like in dry friction, you can say it is basically friction only. Okay, but it is resistance offered to the vibrating body. Okay. Now next is the mechanical vibratory system. Okay, any system which possesses mass and elasticity is capable of vibration. So what are the three important elements of mechanical vibratory system? Mass, stiffness, and damping if it is present. Otherwise, mass and stiffness are inherently present in any mechanical object. Okay, so mass, stiffness, and damping are the mechanical system elements. If it is forced vibration, then external excitation, say the object which will produce that external excitation, for example, motor, that is also a part of this vibratory system. Okay. Now DOF. So already you have seen the title of unit number 1, that is a single DOF system. Unit number 2 is also single DOF system, and in unit number 3 we are going to study the 2 DOF vibratory system. Okay, so what do you mean by degrees of freedom? Okay, we know the definition that the minimum number of independent coordinators required to specify the motion, complete motion of a system at any instant, that is known as a DOF. Okay, then phase difference. It is the angle between two rotating vectors representing SHM of the same frequency. For example, if x1 is the vector representing a1 sine omega t, x2 is the vector representing a2 sine omega t plus phi. So what is this phi? Phi is nothing but the angle of lead or angle of lag. Then this is known as a phase difference. Okay. Now, continuous or distributed system and discrete or lumped mass system. This is very important concept. Okay, so if the mass of the system is assumed to be distributed in the system, that mass, it has infinite DOF. That means it has infinite DOF. Such system is known as a continuous system or distributed mass system. For example, cantilever, simply supported beam, compound pendulum. These are the distributed mass system. Okay. Other is discrete or lumped mass system. Okay, what is it? If the mass is assumed to be concentrated at a point, okay, we are treating as a point mass, so that is known as a discrete system or lumped mass system. See, it is very easy to analyze vibrations in a discrete or lumped mass system because only simple differential equations are necessary to analyze the vibrations or to determine the equation of motion or to determine the natural frequency. But for continuous system or distributed mass system, we require partial differential equation. So it is very difficult to analyze such system. So what we do? We convert these continuous or distributed mass system into lumped mass system, and then we analyze for vibration. Now for UG level, for this dynamics of machinery, we have to study only lumped mass system. There is no continuous system, that is for PG level. Okay. Now the last definition is mathematical modeling. Okay, it is nothing but applying physical laws, that means the laws of physics, to obtain equation of motion. Okay, for example, an automobile moving over a rough road can be modeled considering how much is its weights. It consists of weight of car body and passengers. Then how much elasticity is possessed by tires, okay, by suspension. Okay, that also we have to consider, and damping provided for the seat by front and rear suspension. So see, there is a mass we are considering, there is a elasticity we are considering, and there is a damping also we are considering. That is, these are the three elements of this automobile. Now there is not one single part. For simplification, we always study a single part, that is one spring, one mass, one damper. Okay, that we are going to study, but it is not say the automobile is not only one part. No, it consists of 1,000 parts. So those parts we have to combine together either in series or in parallel, and like this, by combining all these parts, you develop a mathematical equation to determine the frequency, natural frequency of this automobile. So that is known as a mathematical modeling. So what is mathematical modeling? You have to obtain the equation of motion by using certain laws, so that you can analyze that system and you can determine the natural frequency of the system. Okay. So now further part we will see in the next lecture, that is types of vibrations and how to determine the natural frequency by using 3 different methods. Okay. So thank you very much.